Alright. So,
Cat, you stop that.
the last time we left our heroes, the party met up with a strange monk from the Far
Ouch.
East named Daoji and started making their way towards Fendar. Along the journey, they came across a town that was being raided by a band of bandits from Fendar. After slaying them, the party made their way towards the city. The city had a wall around it with a housing district surrounding this wall and farms that were sort of on the outskirts of that. After some inquiring around town, and particularly in a tavern, Daoji found some merchants that were willing to introduce him to a man that would help them get into the city. He met with this half-elf the next day who went by Hal, and after palming a golden bauble, they were led to a tunnel that leads to an inn on the southern end of town. The party now finds themselves emerging from this with two of the merchants that followed them. So, as you guys enter this inn, you can see it's for a walled city that doesn't get a whole lot. That it's pretty rough to get into. It's actually a rather bustling place. You see, uh, there's only one free table in this inn, and the rest of it's being filled. And you can see all these people are very wealthy looking. And a lot of them seem, and several of them seem like they come from foreign countries. So, as you emerge into this inn, what would you guys like to do?
I want to approach the merchants that we've been traveling with.
Yeah, they're right next to you, so you can just
Yeah, I just want to turn to them. I'm like, so what are your guys' names?
let me find them in my notes. Merchants. Ah, here they are. The one on the left, an older-looking gentleman. Well, not too old, like about middle-aged. Says, well, my name is Dion, and this here is Valheim. They both give you a respectful nod, and they're like, and you,
Jing.
Jing. That's right.
Yes.
Well,
I want to know, are you planning on staying here in this inn?
he looks around and says, if they've got a few rooms for us, we'll stay. If not, we'll find somewhere else. We reckon we'll be in town for a week and a half, roughly. Sell what we've got and move on.
Okay, great. About a week and a half. Good. I'll
Give or
cash up
take.
with you then.
We'll be looking forward to it, Jing. And if you don't find anyone to buy those dragon scales, I'm sure we can agree on a price.
Looking to sell. Someone wants to buy. I figured some wealthy nobles in this area who would pay a very fine price for them.
He nods, and the Valheim speaks. So he says, "Well, I don't know about nobles, but I know that the bandits here really do. Well, shouldn't call them bandits. That might get me a swift beating. The rulers of this city, they like a show of strength. So, if they might be willing to purchase those for a fair price, if you give them the right pitch."
How much about this city? Do you know where I could head to meet up with them?
He says, Valheim says, "Not so much. This is my first trip here. All I know is what I've heard. I know that it was taken by a pretty large force of bandits several years back." Um, he looks to Dion, and Dion says, "Well, I don't. I've heard that the actual leaders don't take too much company, but you might be able to catch a lieutenant or someone on patrol catch one of them. They often come by the stalls if they like what they see. If they don't take it, they may negotiate a price for it. From what I understand, they made it quite rich whenever they took this place.
I imagine. In Trade Town.
And
Dion, Valheim, I'll catch up with you later.
they each nod and say, "We're looking forward to it, Jing. But we need to go and see if we can't snag a room."
Right. Go over to Loristus and Callan.
Alrighty.
Well, I suppose I'm going to do the same as them and try to get us a room for the night.
I'll probably just sit at the bar and see what I hear.
Alright, Alright, so, Callan, go ahead and roll a perception check. Just to see what you can hear. And you're getting a room, Loristus?
Yeah, just one room that we'll share.
Alright,
I got
let's...
it, Tim.
Okay. Give me just a second to see if they've got any of those left.
Do you like plan out all your buildings and stuff?
The major ones. Some of them, I just roll for stuff. Alright, so you walk up and you can see it's a little halfling man who's behind the counter, walking back and forth. You kind of have to lean over to see the rest of him. You can see the tip of his head over the bar. As he looks up and says, "Oh, one moment," and he goes and fills up a couple mugs and slides them across the bar, one of them to you, Callan. Before he says, "Alright. Oh, you're not from around here. Oh, did Hal send you?"
We're just here to sell.
Alright. Well, what can I do for you?
I need a room for a week, big enough for 3 people.
Alright.
Doesn't need 3 beds, just needs to be big enough for all 3 to fit inside.
Right. And he goes through and starts checking his ledger. After a moment, he nods and says, "Alright. I've got just one room left. It's not quite as large as you're wanting, but you might be able to make do in it. How long are you staying?"
About a week.
Alright, a week. That'll run you 20 golden pieces.
I hand them over.
Thank you. And we do complimentary breakfast and dinner here. Lunch you're gonna have to find on your own.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Alright, well, unless you need anything else, I've got business to attend to. And he wanders over to a couple merchants that are sitting around a table. Callan, for the most part, it's a lot of just talk about business. You hear a group of people who are wearing some very flowing white robes with some like head turbans wrapped around them. They've came from the. You hear they were talking about the goods they've brought from the jeweled city out in the desert.
Ever since we've been out in the outskirts of this town, I've had my my monk's clothes tucked away, and I've put on my plain green and brown commoner's clothes.
Okay. Right, so you're trying.
Hood up, and I'm looking for
Okay. But yeah, and you hear them. They mentioned, Callan. The most that you glean from is they mentioned that there was some merchants around here have brought quite a haul of different jewels and gems that they're selling. They're hoping they can get a fine price for them.
Gotcha.
Alright, so. Alright. So. What do you guys Where are you wanting to head to? What do you want to do?
What is it?
About what time of the day is it?
It's pretty late in the evening. You guys had to meet those merchants last time, after dark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought we had to meet them after dark, so there's not really a whole lot we can do.
Oh, I didn't know. If you'd want to
I
go
assume
out or
it's
anything.
probably not safe to be on the streets at night.
Am I in time to get dinner here?
The halfling man stops and comes over and says, "I reckon you are. Are you with the?" He points over the half orc.
I'm a merchant. These are my hired muscle, if you will.
Oh, all right. Well, he got you a room, and we do complimentary dinners. So, and he hands you a menu and says, "Look over it, and I'll be right back. Let me know what you want." And you see, it's he comes back after a moment and brings you guys your dinner and a couple of free drinks on the house. Anything you're gonna discuss before doing whatever it is you do?
As soon as I finish eating up, I eat fairly quickly. I keep my hood up, and then I stand up from the bar and I look at the other two and I say, "You don't mind me heading out for a bit, do you?"
What you do on your own is up to you.
You don't need us to come with you, do you?
I'll know where to find you if I need you.
Alright.
Well, best of luck to you. I'm not heading out there at night.
You see him smirk underneath the hood, and then he turns and heads out the door.
All right. So,
Looking
Yeah.
for the nearest brothel if I know Dodgy.
Colin Lord
Gotta-
says,
Gotta find that brothel / orphanage.
2 in 1, if you will.
Orphanage. Yep.
He's gonna diddly some kidleys.
All
Those
right.
are my top two objectives: is prostitutes and orphans.
Preferably if they're the same.
All right. So, do you guys have anything else you want to do, Callan and Lorsis?
There's not really a whole lot I want to
Nah.
say,
I don't
around
have
other
anything to
people.
do.
All right.
Just head to
So-
the room.
Daoji, what is it you're looking to do?
I'm gonna walk the main streets, taking a look around.
All right.
Once I'm satisfied, after that, I'm gonna go find a whorehouse.
All right.
Damn it.
So, as you're... Let me find a better song. So, as you leave, it's pretty dark, but every few blocks, there's a... Well, it's pretty dark, but, with light coming through different all the different windows, and every now and then, a torch is lit. You can find your way around pretty good. They were right. This inn is tucked away right next to the wall on the southern end of the town, the city. And as you're walking through the main street, you pass past several patrols of guards. Some mixture of races, but they're always led by an orc. And as you are walking, you get to a place where the road just kind of opens up into like a small, or not a small, but quite a large business square, where you can see there are a lot of during the day they would be kiosks, but all the goods have been taken off of them. They're all closed for the evening. But from here you have a good view, and you can see a very large. It's not quite a castle. It's like a multi-storied manor house, sitting closer to the. Where would this? Let me look. Let me look at this real quick. It's sitting close to like the northwestern, like in the center, but kind of to the northwestern end of the city. And in front of that, keeping guard, it would seem, as they kind of patrol up and down, and you see a couple of very, very large creatures You see one of them, one of these giants is very large, and in the dim flickering of light coming from the manor house, you can see he's got fiery red hair and just this uh, giant set of armor over. And another one who's a bit paler with white hair standing next to him with. It doesn't have any armor on. It seems to be like a large tunic, but still, these guys are nearly as tall as this manor house.
Jesus. Just one more question. What kind of stalls are there? Like, what's going on in the market? What are they selling?
Uh, right now you can't really tell. All the goods have been packed up. They're just clean, like they've been cleaned out essentially. They haven't left any goods out at this point.
Well,
Because they're
I've
like,
decided.
this is like an open air market, where they come out in the morning, set up their goods, and at night they take them down so people can't just come out and rob them.
All right. I've decided to change my mind. I and a maybe like a corner or an alleyway connected to this main area.
Mm-hmm.
Going to sit down, cross-legged, with my gourd in my lap, and I'm gonna hold a single hand out, and I will look like a beggar.
All right.
And my night in view of these giants, probably a good distance away, but I
Yeah,
want to keep watch.
they're like farther up in the town. You're not too close to them, but they're big. You got a good view on them.
That's how
So,
I'm gonna be spending my night.
okay.
I'm sorry, did you say there's giants in the town that are as big as the manor?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, as you sit for the duration, sit down for a while, you see some guards kind of walk some patrols, just kind of passing in and out, but you're kind of tucked away in this alley, so they don't really see you or anything. They're just kind of making their patrols, making sure that there's nothing fishy going on. You don't see too many civilians out and about or merchants out and about at this time of night. You see a couple kind of drunkenly making their way down the main avenue before a guard comes up and shoves them, threatening them with a stick before they shuffle off back towards somewhere.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
as long as I'm not bothered, I'm gonna stay and keep watch.
But yeah, luckily enough, you're not bothered. And these two giants, they don't. Sometimes they'll move around, walking down one of the streets before coming back. Just stretching their legs. But they seem to be making sure no funny business happens around that manor. And it's think almost kind of like a southern plantation style manor on crack. It's like a multi-storied, and it's got the very eloquent pillars on the front porch.
Sweet.
But yeah, other than that, actually, hang on a second. Okay, yeah. Other than that, nothing really catches your eye this evening. You watch, and they seem to be keeping guard. So, as that's
That's
happening, Callan Lorsis going to sleep. Any?
Sleepy time.
All right. So, the evening passes, and Daoji, as the sun starts to crest the mountains, rays of sun start coming down, and you can see, merchants starting to come up the street and start to set up their stalls.
All right, I'm gonna get up and head out before I see those two fucking guys that we've been traveling with,
Okay.
and I'll head back to meet up with Callan and Morstus.
All right. So you can do that.
And I'm keeping an eye out for any slanted-eyed motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm on edge about it.
Okay. You don't notice anyone that seems to be from that area as you make your way back. You see some people from some countries you pass that are pretty close to that area, but not the kind of people you're looking out for. So
Get to
you make
the
your way
inn,
back
and
to
I
your,
want to find Callan and Lorstis and tell them about, especially the two giants that seem to be keeping watch outside of the.
Okay. Yeah, and you do that. You find them just eating their breakfast as they mull over some plans.
I'm not too surprised to hear that.
Wonderful.
I'm serious, like super big.
Well, that's gonna be fun to deal with.
If they're in our way, we'll deal with them.
Side, do you know anything like maybe underground passages or secret hideouts or anything?
Mm. There was a really basic sewer system, but that's about it. I doubt it'd be anything to work with.
Well, it's an option.
Maybe we should go look around the town together, disguised as merchants or something. Try and get a lay of the land.
Might be able to pick up some supplies too. Rare potions and whatnot.
Gotta stick to our cover story. I'm a merchant. You guys are two guards.
Whatever you say, sir.
Look, man, I'm just trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, I guess scouting around the town is probably the best we can do right now.
For it.
All right. Is there anything in specific you're keeping an eye out for while you're scouting?
I'd like to try and memorize the area that I can.
Okay.
Try and find where the alleys are and the way around.
All right.
First thing I'm gonna do is take them out to the market square so they can see the giants for themselves.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You can see a lot of the merchants at this point have got their wares set up. So.
Good looking.
Let me check real quick.
I gotta add to the shit stolen list.
Did they seem like hill giants or other
Um,
types? Or is there any way to tell?
you guys probably wouldn't have seen any giants at all in your travels, so you wouldn't really know the difference between them at this point.
Well, if they do die, I can take their toenails, and I know how to make a potion of strength to have the hill giant strength.
Weird, man.
All right, so let's check and real quick. These merchants you've got. So you see one guy who's got some different like some fancy clothing from it seems to be from the desert. It's some long robes, and you can see some different jewelry. So it's kind of like set up on mannequins, like long robes with some gem encrusted jewelry. And he's got also, a few different weapons from that area. They're all jewel encrusted. You see another guy who has some. God damn it, that's the wrong book. Some other guy who's got different herbs and monster parts. Who's harking his wares to any who come by. And there's another market that has a lot of different. It's hard to place what he's got. He's got a lot of different variety of things. It seems almost like a pawn shop, like a mobile pawn shop. He's got things from like headdresses to small ornaments to mirrors.
I tap Callan on the shoulder. I point out the other guy, and I'm like, "Hey, man, he probably has some giant toenail clippings for you."
Oh yeah. I think we'll save that unless I need it.
Down, and I look into my my little purse of. I shake it around, and you hear the distinct sound of no money. I'm like, I just tuck it away. I'm like, man, maybe I should pawn that thing I got.
Wow, what a great merchant you are.
You're the one that's holding all of. I like look at him and like, do I see a coin purse or anything on him?
Yeah, you'd probably see a coin purse tucked away.
1,000 gold somebody took from this keep. I like. Yeah, I'm like, since we're working together, why don't you spot me a little bit?
I mean, maybe if you'd asked nicely a little bit earlier, I would have shared some wealth with you. But now you're being a cunt.
Hands inside my clothes, and I say whatever.
I give him 5 gold.
Oh my god.
At him, stone face, no expression. I just take it and put it in the bag.
Oh my god.
That gives you my favor for about 5 minutes.
I feel like the roles here should be reversed. We should be the merchants, you should be the guard. Broke ass nigga.
What is a nigger? Never heard that term before.
Let's continue on with our business.
All right. So
I'm sure some fine whore will do fine tonight.
All right. So, what are you guys doing at this point? Are you?
Clearly, we're banting. We don't really have a set goal in mind. I look over at Lorsis and I'm like, so what's our plan?
Well, plan is, take down the leader and drive the bandits out. Simple enough.
So I would assume the leader lives in the big mansion, guarded by the giants.
Probably.
So well, I guess that makes our goal to find a way inside the mansion.
Well, if any building has access to the sewer system, that would be it, wouldn't it?
That would definitely make sense.
Well, then I suppose we better look around for a big enough opening to crawl into the shithole.
All right. All right. So.
The other two, and I say, hey, if you see anybody with eyes like this, and I lift my hood up for just a brief second and show them my face, and then I put it back down, tell me, okay?
Yeah, I see one, and then I point right at him.
I sigh and say, we'll let you know.
That joke is about 5 gold.
You're not getting any more money from me, beggar.
I can take what I want.
Spend less money on whores, you might actually have a full coin purse.
Make me.
All right. So at this point, you guys. At this point, you guys would hear a couple of guards shouting. A couple of alleyways down from you. You can hear one of them say, "Hey, get your little ass back here!" You can hear, a couple of the merchants look over. You can hear the distinct sound of running footsteps.
Us?
What was that?
Us?
Is it coming towards us?
Yeah, it would seem so. And if you look and glancing down an alleyway, you can see a thin man with some just pretty nondescript clothing on. But he's got long blonde hair just darting. You see him just dart through an alleyway, a couple of guards pelting after him.
Let's follow.
Okay.
Follow after him.
All right, so you guys take off after him. And you follow him there. The guy's giving these guards quite a chase. He's weaving in and out of alleyways before eventually he finds himself cornered as the guards have their swords drawn. You hear one of them say, "All right, we know who you are, and it'll be for the gallows for you in the morning." As they start to encroach on this guy, he pulls out a couple of knives.
How many of the guards are around?
3 right now.
Are we in an alleyway or out in the open?
You're in an alleyway. The guards have cornered this guy at a dead end, and you're kind of sandwiching the guards.
Are we out? Are we out of sight of
Can you
anyone on the
witness
main
Yeah,
street?
yeah, you're kind of at a distance from the guards right now, and you've given these guys chase. You're down in an obscure valley.
About how far away would you say I am from the guards?
I'd say you guys
Come
at
on,
this
we're all
point
together.
are about. They haven't noticed you yet, so I'd say you guys are probably about 100 feet away. Well, probably more like 70 feet away.
If we're gonna fight, I can cast silence in the alley.
Oh yeah, doesn't that keep any sound from escaping the alley?
It's a
It's a
20-foot
cube.
radius sphere.
Cast it right on them, and no sound goes out. We've got a nice, safe fight.
You guys want to go
Before
for
we
it?
do this, so what is this guy? Does he have anything on him? Is he wearing like just normal robes
He's
or
wearing just some nondescript clothing. He's got a hood. He's got like a cloak around him. You can see if he's stolen anything, you don't see it like in his hands or anything.
they're chasing him because he's done something before?
It seems that way, yes.
Well, we can figure that out after we take care of the guards. Alright, I guess I'll start moving in while Callan gets that silent spell ready.
All right, if we're gonna do that, then let's go ahead and roll initiative.
You're fast as fuck, boy.
Alrighty, so we got. Wait, this isn't my. No, there it is. Oh
His
no.
ass. Natural 1 the last time we did this.
Alright, so. And did anyone get above 20?
23.
23? 20 to 15?
Jax had 19.
15 to 10?
14.
And then Dowgy had an 8.
Hold on, Callan. What is Jax?
Oh, he's my
Oh,
pet
right.
panther.
We forgot to introduce Jax.
Yeah. He's my pet panther.
Meow.
Just walk around the streets and stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody,
It's worked so far. No one's
nobody fucking
noticed.
gives a shit.
I mean, he's tame.
He is tame.
I mean, look at him. He's cuddly. I reached down and scratched Jack behind the ears.
Every time we do stuff, I just never picture the giant panther walking around.
Because you never
Hey.
see him, because he's super stealthy.
He's
Okay.
actually saved my life before.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I forget about him.
I'm not correcting him if it keeps us safe.
Yeah, that's something else.
All right. So where'd it go? There it is. All right. So the fight starts off, and you see this man with blonde hair pulls out his daggers before shaking his head and saying, "We've played the song and dance before. You're not taking me anywhere." Before he rushes at the closest guard, stabbing at him. All right, there it is. So that's. So he lunges at the guy, swinging once as the guard just steps out of the way of the blow. The second one, he stabs him right above the kidney, nearly getting that. Before he goes to stab it a second time, the guard just reaches up and grabs his hand before pushing him away. Callan, it's your turn.
Yes, I cast silence on the guards.
All right.
I tried to put them like right in the center of it.
Yeah. All right, I got you. And I don't think there's any roll for that, is there? I think it's just a silence area.
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so either. So you mutter the incantation. You can see like the area just distorts just slightly, and you can see one of the guards, the guard that like caught his wrist, start to say something, but no audible noise comes out of it. It's Jax's turn.
Okay. He's just gonna. How far away is he?
These guys are about 70 feet from you.
Oh, I can't. He can't reach him. He's just gonna move 30 feet up.
Okay, he's just moving 30 feet. Gotcha. All right, Lorstus?
All right, they're 70 feet away, right?
Yes.
If I were to just sprint into a mad dash right for one of the guards, would you let me tackle him?
Probably not. That'd be an action, and you'd have to use an action to dash.
Man, I was just implying like I just run into him.
That's a fighter ability charge.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to let you do that.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just move my full 40 feet towards him.
All right. So at this point, you move towards them, and the guard that was shouting, they all, it's fallen silent. They're all looking around before they turn around and see you guys in the alley rushing at them. You can see the one guy start to bark orders, but none of them, there's nothing, no sound. So they just, one of them, the one that has the guy's wrist, is still after him, but the two turn to face you guys. Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. What's your armor class again, Lorstus?
99. 16.
Okay. Alright, so. So, Lorstus, you take 25 damage as the one guard just plunges a sword right through your shoulder, pulling it out and slashing at you again, cutting. You can feel it scraping right against your shoulder, your shoulder bone. As he crit you, but didn't roll that much damage on his crit.
Why'd you even ask my armor class then?
Because he attacked you twice, my man.
Oh,
This is
okay.
eerily familiar.
Alright, Jax. Oh no, Jax wasn't close enough, so they all swing at Lorstus. Add another 14 damage to that, Lorstus. I forgot Jax wasn't close enough in range.
Is that with rage?
No. I'm not raging. I probably should have.
Alright, so after that, you can see the one guy brings out his mace and tries to bash this, the blonde-haired man, but he ducks out of the way of it, readying himself for a counterattack. Daoji, it's your turn.
Alright. I'm going to...
Rawr, rawr, rawr.
Yeah, sorry. Let me ask you a question. Does a ready action let me change my order and initiative?
You could hold your turn and, you know, change your order and initiative, yeah?
Okay. I'm going to step forward right as Lorsus is getting stabbed, and slowly pull out my hands from the inside of my clothes and then just unleash a flurry of blows on this one dude.
Alright.
Let me see here. I gotta look it up again. For my first 2 attacks,
The 13 manages to hit this guy.
okay, cool.
Oh, what race are these guys?
You can see the one that's attacking the stranger is an orc, and the other 2 are humans.
Okay.
So my first punch is 9 damage.
Alright.
Blows 17.
That'll do it.
Seed to ass flying into the wall.
Alright. And what's the DC on that again? What was the DC he had to make for...
16.
Oh, 16? Okay. Yeah, he doesn't make it. Alright, so you send him... So as you swing the first time, clocking this guy right in the throat, you swing a second time and he knocks your hand right out of the way as it goes to the side. But your second one, flat palm, hitting him right in the chest as he just goes flying backwards, slamming into the wall behind him.
So as soon as he comes off of the wall, he probably like rebounds a little bit. I'm gonna step forward and just chin so hard that he has to. He's gonna fly back on his ass unless he passes that check again.
All right.
The total damage for all 3 strikes is, what's 16 plus 9?
25?
Yeah.
So 25 damage total.
Okay.
And the last strike I just did to knock him prone.
Alrighty. Alright, so, and that's another DC 16. Oh, he rolled a 19. So he is not knocked prone as he rebounds, you come. And this time he kind of throws his arms up as you punch right through his guard, trying to knock him prone, but he uses the wall to kind of balance himself, standing up straight. Is that the end of your turn? Oh, 14. Okay.
He was about 40 feet ahead of me, right?
Yeah.
Alright, then I'm just gonna go and get about 20 feet back behind Lorstus.
Okay. So you do that and then quickly back up behind Morstus. The stranger, this point, looking at you guys, kind of bewildered. He's gonna keep fighting, trying to take this guy out. Oops. Damn.
Sometimes I feel like the NPCs do better than us.
I don't.
Alright.
Play. Eventually, you'll get carried.
So, as this guy brings his daggers down, slamming both of them into each of this guy's shoulders, as he brings out his left dagger, trying to bury it in this guy's throat, the guy quickly throws up his arm, trying to push this guy off of him, which he eventually does. Callan, it's your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot one of the humans.
Alright, 11 does not hit.
Yeah.
19
19.
hits.
$13.
13, alright, 13 damage. Alright, so your first arrow just flies by this guy and just cracks against the wall. The second one, though, pierces him right through the leg as he screams out, but no audible sound comes through. Jax's turn.
He's gonna use his pounce attack on the human I just shot.
Okay,
Does 14 hit?
14 hits. What's the DC he's gonna make again?
12 strength.
Okay. Doesn't make it.
So then he gets a bite attack.
Yep.
23 hits.
Yep.
That was for the claw, and now it's the bite.
So,
Okay.
28 total?
Yep.
Alright. So Jax just leaps up on this guy, knocking him to the floor, and just tearing at his face. You can see he's trying to scream out and bat Jax off of him, but he can't do it just yet. Lorstus.
I'm gonna enter rage, and this bandit that Jax attacked is on the ground, right?
Yep.
Doesn't that mean I get advantage on attacks against him?
Yes.
Guess what I'm gonna do? Hey, that's a crit for me.
It sure is.
Alright, 3d12 plus 13. Okay, 16, 26,
Yep,
34.
okay.
He's dead.
Alright, so you just bringing out your axe and going into a rage. You just bring your axe straight down, cutting this guy's head clean off his shoulders.
Like, okay, fine, stop rolling.
Yep, alright.
Okay, I have one more attack, and there's one more human bandit, right?
Yep.
How far away from me?
Probably about 15 feet, as 'cause he's just got sent, against the wall. He's still trying to reel and recover from that.
Well, I'm gonna step right up and fuck him. That was almost another crit for me. That would have been real nice.
Go fuck yourself.
23 points of damage.
Take that damn axe away from you.
Fine, give me a +3 Vorpal battle axe. I'll take it. Yeah.
Alright, so 23 damage to that guy.
Yeah.
I would nerf you.
What'd you say?
You.
Sorry,
What
you
about-
hit him so hard your axe broke in half.
No.
No, that just means I get to throw bullshit at him. Alright.
Immobile character. So I can leave your ass behind.
Alright, so you walk to the second guy, cleaving right into him. You can feel several ribs crack as you just slice right down his chest. He's bleeding profusely, but he's still standing. And now it's their turn. He's gonna... You see he's crying out, grabbing a sword and trying to plunge it into you. Both of those hit. So, Lorstus, this guy grabs his chest and just thrusts his sword into you twice, both times piercing your gut. You suffer 18 points of damage.
Don't matter.
And the other one...
Fuck off with that.
Damn. So, in the orc, as he knocks this blonde-headed man off of him, brings his mace down twice, both times cracking this guy over the skull. As he sends the guy back, holding his head, trying to shake off the blow. Daoji, it's your turn.
Alive?
I'm sorry?
That guy's still alive?
Yeah, he's still standing. He just suffered he just got hit twice right across the face. He's just trying to regain himself as he's...
Okay. Going on, Daoji just very casually, very calmly walks past Lorstus up to this guy and sends out 2 punches.
Okay.
The hit.
That'll do it.
That's definitely a
Yeah,
hit.
that'll do it.
Just if I keep going. 19 damage.
Yep. Yeah, so as you just walk up to this guy that Lorstus just cleaved through, just 2 punches right to the face. The guy's head just snaps back and cracks into the wall.
I don't want to kill him.
Okay, yeah, but it just cracks into the wall, so he just slumps down, unconscious but bleeding.
I grab his collar and I gently lower him down into the corner where he slumps.
All right.
And then I look up at Loristus and I say, don't. Up and look at our new friend over here.
Yep, there's still 1 guard left at that guy's...
Oh, there is?
Yeah, there were 3 guards. One of them's dead, got his fucking head chopped off. Loristus just cleaved into one, and then there's the one you just knocked out. And then there's like a full orc that's been just battling this random guy.
I'm certain I'm in range, so I'm gonna walk up, and I get a bonus action, just a free attack.
Yep.
And use that.
All right.
I'm going to use Stunning Strike.
Okay. And what's that?
Make a 14 or be stunned until my next turn. The end of my next turn.
And is that a Constitution save?
Let me see. Yes.
Okay. All right. So he didn't make that. And
Look up and I just lightly karate chop his neck.
yeah, so you just walk up and just strike him in the back, and you can see it kind of just kind of goes rigid for a second.
Judo
Casually-
chop.
Yeah, I casually walk around him and then I stand between him and the man. And I just look at him and say, you might want to step back.
So you mouth this, and no words come out, but he kind of reads your lips
yeah.
before nodding and keeping his knives up at a ready stance, just kind of slowly creeping back away.
Hand on attacks, buddy. Have fun.
All right, Callan.
All right, I'm gonna shoot the guy that can't move.
You get advantage.
Yep, I was going to say go ahead and have advantage.
Does 17 hit him?
17 hits him, 20 hits him.
If you want to crit him.
That's 21.
All right.
Is Jax close enough to attack him too?
Jax is probably just out of range of this one,
Okay.
but it is his turn now.
21.
All right.
Nine.
9 points of damage. All right, so you just pelt this guy with arrows, and Jax just walks up and just casually starts biting at him, trying to take his ankles out. Lorstus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go finish him off real quick with that critty.
Yep, okay. You don't even
Do
need
I?
to roll.
Do I need to? No, I'm gonna roll. Yeah, he did.
Yep. So as you just walk up casually, just belting this guy's knees with with your pommel before bringing your axe down, just splitting his head.
Completely helpless. He can't even hold his arms up to defend himself.
Nope, as you just take out his knees and just crack his skull open, and that's it.
Ooh, criticals.
All right. So
Can't wait to roll nothing but ones for the boss.
this guy is still kind of up in his defensive position with his knives as he tries to talk to you guys, but
I cancel the spell.
yeah, okay. So he looks around and says, "So who the bloody hell are you?"
You first.
He looks around for a moment before saying, all right, all right. Look. Just, call me Tenos. And whatever conversation we need to have, I don't think we need to have it right here. So he kind of eyes the bloody mess you guys have left.
Let's go somewhere safe.
And you have that hood we were talking about the other day?
Yeah. I hand it to him.
Want to wrap it
Yeah.
around the unconscious guy.
Oh, okay.
Put the hood up.
We've only got 10 minutes with that, so you
Are
know.
you going to bring him
That's
with
fine,
you?
so quick,
or-
quick. Yeah, I want to bring him.
Okay, you're bringing him with you. Okay. Yeah, so you do that. All right. And
I want to drag him behind us.
okay. So
That's gonna look suspicious as hell.
Be fine. I'm discreet.
So you guys kind of, as Tenos leads you through some alleyways, you guys probably get a good couple miles away before he stops and turns to you and says, "All right. So why'd you pitch in back there? What's your deal?"
So, okay, well, before they start talking, I'm gonna unhood the guy, and I don't know if I have rope. I have an explorer's pack, so if I have rope,
I
I have rope.
was about to say, I know they've got rope. You can.
Oh yeah.
I've got 50 feet of rope, so I'm gonna tie
yeah.
him up.
Okay, yeah. So you do that. You tie
Oh.
tie him up.
While he's doing that, I step forward to Tenos and I tell him that I'm an original inhabitant of this town before the bandits came, and I've come back to take back my home.
He looks at you and says, "Oh, is that so? Well, I've lived here quite a while myself. What's your name?"
Lorstus.
Lorstus, huh? Alright. Oh, okay. And so, if you're Lorstus, then that must be Callan, right?
Well, now, how do you know us?
He laughs for a moment and says, "We may be a walled city, but we get stories from all over. We do get merchants from all over, that is. We've heard about you. But, this guy, who are you?" He gestures towards you, Dauji.
Up and brush myself off. Not really sure I want to tell you that.
Shrugs and says, "Oh, sure. Alright."
What I can do back there. Just know that I will, unless I have to. We're friends.
Alright.
So, Tenos, why were the guards chasing you like that?
He says, well, they caught me a couple days back snooping around some places I shouldn't have been. They've been hauling in all kinds of goods from all over. And I had a little peek at them and got caught.
What
What'd
kind
you
of goods
see?
were they bringing in? Did you see?
Whole bunch of jewels. I was gonna try and get my hand on some, but got caught before I could swipe anything that was too good.
Can I make an insight check or something to see if he's lying about anything?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Nope.
He looks kind of like a man that you'd be more familiar with, Daoji, the kind who likes to stick to the back alleys, but in this instance he does seem to be pretty truthful as far as you can
Right.
tell.
How long have you lived here, Tenos?
Well, I was born here, but I never did brush with the nobles or the merchants or anything. Says I always made my living with my, with some peculiar skills.
Since you live here, let me ask a question. Do you know anything about a change of power up at the top? We've heard rumors about something like that.
Yeah, the old man was saying something about that. Said he overheard some of the guys talking about the head honcho heading out here pretty soon. I don't know too much besides that, but you could ask him yourself.
Well, if I know my old man well enough, I'd imagine he's out to take another town for himself.
Shrugs and says, I don't know too much about it, but I know a group of people who might, well, they might know something for you anyways.
That's
Are
what we're
you-
looking for.
Are you hinting towards a resistance group?
He kind of leans back against a wall and says, Resistance? I don't know. They're not... Well, you'll see them. I can take you to them. They'd be glad to see you.
Alright, well, the next order of business is what we're gonna do with our new friend here lying on the ground.
Well, I want to know how far away is your friends from here?
He looks around and says, well, if we cut through the square... If we cut through the closest square, and he kind of gestures back towards where you guys were looking at shops. Not too far, but if we have to skirt around that, and he kind of eyes the guard, it might take us 40 minutes to get there.
Well, what are we gonna do with our prisoner, Daoji?
I grimace. And then I put my head up and I didn't see anything. I turn out of the alleyway.
I guess if we're not gonna do anything with him, I'm gonna put him down.
Alright.
Do I need to roll an attack roll for that?
No, he's unconscious.
Okay.
No.
I'm really starting to show that chaotic part of the chaotic good, you know?
Right. So
I'm chaotic. I'm chaotic good too. I can't. He's seen us. I can't do anything about it.
Yep, alright, so you guys do that. And, Tenos just kind of nods and says, alright, then we can take the short route. And he leads you guys through the little, one of the, the square that you guys were looking at shops at before, heading along towards the, kind of the southeastern side of town. For coming up on a very it's a very modest looking home. As you enter, you see there's nobody inside, and it seems, the dust and everything, it seems like it's been abandoned for quite some time. There's not really anything valuable lying around, but Tenos gestures towards a set of stairs leading further down into a basement area. And as you follow him, he pushes in one of the brick stones that make up the wall, and as he does this, a part of the wall just kind of slides forward just a bit as he pushes it open as a door. And as you guys enter this room, you see this part of the house has been pretty well lived in. As you look, you see there is a old man sitting in a pretty rickety looking chair by a fire. There's a couple of dwarves playing dice. You can see there's a couple of women chatting across a table at each other, and these people all look rather poor compared to the rest of the people here. Because most of the people you've met seem like very wealthy merchants, whereas these guys do not look that at all. They look the complete opposite from that style of life. As Tenos comes in, he kind of gestures to the dwarves who, raise some mugs at him. And the old man kind of turns his head and says, Tenos. Been expecting you for a while, boy, but you didn't turn up for a few days. Got me worried. He says, well, trouble. But I brought you some people who might want to talk to you, Gramps. He gestures towards you guys.
I step forward and introduce myself.
I do not. I stay behind Lorstus and my hood up and my arms. I look like a Chinese person with their arms tucked inside the sleeves.
All right. Do that, and the old man kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, Lorstus. Oh, what do you want with an old man like myself? I just don't think Tenos will bring you here unless he thought you were all right."
Well, I've come back to take my home back, drive the bandits out, and he was implying that you might know of a way.
Well, a way, not so much. I have eyes and ears in the town. I hear a few things. I know that the man who led this city is going to be going away for quite some time. I didn't beat 12.
He's at the very start of the game.
Mate, I remember
Bosh.
nothing about 12.
I'm Captain Bosch.
I'm Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca.
I'm that guy.
I'm Vaughn. I'm going to be a sky pirate.
Fucking.
I'm Balthier. I was supposed to be the main
I was
character.
about to say, yeah, I'm the not main character. Anyways, the old man says, I know
Magicite!
I know that he's going to be going away very soon. He
I too am interested in this.
unfortunately not.
Shit.
Let's fuck like rabbits.
But
Fantasy world. I need to go searching.
the old man says he'll be leaving here in the next day or so, and I'm not entirely sure why. All I know is that another orc came, and they had, well, from what I understand, he had set this man searching for things. For what these things are, I'm not entirely sure, but he had been searching ever since this town was taken. And, well, I guess whatever the news is that was brought, it's enough to have, sent him off on his way.
So what I'm hearing is that this town wasn't taken just by chance.
He says, well, I'm not entirely sure on that. All I know is that he's going to be leaving another in charge in his stead, at least until he returns.
I know one thing for sure, and I want to kill the one who's in charge now. And the best time to do it probably will be when he's out of the town.
See, the man says, well, I don't have any news about when or where or how he's going to be making these, well, how he's going to be leaving. All I know is that it's soon.
Is he talking about your father?
I'd imagine so, unless he's already stepped down. I asked Tenos if it's been the same orc in charge for all these years.
Says, well, as far as I can tell, yeah.
Then it's probably my papa.
You've got a mind for a family reunion.
Less a reunion, more of a family tree trimming.
That was clever.
That
How's
was
it going?
too clever for Loristus.
I've got 17 intelligence.
That's not
Don't
canon.
mock me. Don't mock me. You say it's not canon, but it's on the stat sheet. It's on the stat sheet. It's fucking canon.
Alright, that's more like a charisma / wisdom type thing.
Anyways.
Do I get inspiration dice for that powerfulness?
No.
Don't downplay my prideful moments, okay?
It's a good one-liner, man. You earned that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Alright, well, at this, Tenos says, well, like I said, he gestures around, it's not the resistance you were hoping to see, it's mostly just people down on their luck or people who need to hide. So, they may not be able to help you too much, but... And he smiles and says, well, in all the chaos, I might be able to get a few things out of the deal, so... If you're going to be going into that big place, you let me know.
Well, we
Talking
plan
about
on
the
going in.
plantation?
I'm sorry?
Is he talking about the plantation?
Oh, the manor house, yeah.
Oh.
You described it as a southern plantation. It's
Well,
a
I
fucking
described it as
plantation
like
now.
as the manor that would sit on a southern plantation, you know what
No,
I'm saying?
this is a plantation now. We're gonna raid the plantation. We're gonna free all the poor little nigglets.
God damn it.
Do you know a way in?
He leans back against a table and says, I've never tried myself, but I might be able to scout out and find a few things.
Jan, we'd appreciate that.
Says, I've got a knack for getting into places I shouldn't be.
While you're gathering intelligence, and I step forward, and I remove my hood for a minute, and then I put it back and I say, if you see anybody that looks like me,
He smiles for a moment and says, I've seen a couple of your kind around here lately.
where?
Well, I kept an eye on them for a while, because, you know, I haven't ever seen anyone pass the desert around here before. They weren't carrying many goods on them, but after a couple days they left. So they're not here anymore.
A city anymore?
Not from what I can tell, no. They came, had a couple words with one of the lieutenants, and headed off.
And I grimace under my cowl and I just say, alright,
What are you running from?
we'll talk about it later.
Well, I have to say that you lot look awful hungry.
One of the dwarves looks up from his dice game and says, Well, if you're gonna buy us some food and drink, you're welcome to it.
Give me some time. I'm gonna head back out and see what I can't get for you guys.
The old man says, if ever you need a place to stay, well, we'll share what we can. It's not much, though.
As long as it's safe, that's all that matters to us.
We haven't been found out yet. So,
Now what?
Well, I'm gonna keep true to my promise, and well, I want to head out and buy some food, not just for us, but for them too.
all right, yeah.
I'd like to not go alone in the town full of bandits.
I'll go with you.
I'm staying.
Okay. So while they're gone, you guys probably spend about 15 gold, getting quite a bit of food to bring back. Are you doing anything, Daoji? While you're
Just one
gone?
thing. I'm gonna look over at the old man and I say, "You didn't see me."
The old man nods and says, "This is a haven for people who need one. If you're not to be seen, then I haven't seen anything."
I take my place. I'm gonna go see if I can play cards or whatever with those doors.
Oh yeah, they welcome you down, and
Board on the table, and I start drinking and I start playing fucking cards.
okay. And after a moment, Loristus and Callan come back with food, and the dwarves immediately throw their cards down, go to gather as much of the food as they can before coming back and sitting down with their plates stacked high and a couple of mugs of beer before picking their cards back up and playing with you, Dalji.
Are they wagering anything? Or they're just too poor?
It's mostly just for fun. They're
I won't cheat then.
okay. So I'll say
Oh my!
they're too poor. These guys are barely making it by. They're too poor.
I
to
can
wager
definitely,
anything.
screw someone over on a good game of cards, but it's not worth it right now.
No, it's mostly just to pass the time because they don't have much else to do.
Right.
Because it's like, from what you can gather, this is a haven for people either on the run from the guards, people too poor to make it, and from what you've gathered, you haven't seen any poor on the streets, and from what you can gather, the guards don't tolerate beggars
Yeah, I
or
get it. They
anything.
keep the poor people down in the basements.
Well, it's mostly if you're caught begging, or if you're just a general disturbance, they're gonna deal with you.
So now that the food's back, I look up and I say, "Where do we go from here?"
Tenos looks around and says, "Well, I reckon I'm gonna go scout a few things out for you guys." And he says, but the structure here, the way it works, this would be... Shake his head. I should word this differently. How do you plan on driving them out exactly?
You got exactly have a plan for long term.
Well, if you take out the head honcho, there are still going to be lieutenants and, other people on the food chain who are going to try and take a spot.
Well,
If that's the
Sounds
case, Loristus, you need to take that top spot and hold it. If that you're stronger than any of them, they'll accept you as a new leader.
He says...
You're the last chief, aren't you?
that is a good point. And these orcs, they hold strength very highly. They
You do
respect
have
it.
a claim on this city.
Tenos looks at
Claim,
you.
but no proof.
Tenos looks at you for a moment and shrugs and says, "Oh, if you think that'll work, then we can try that."
Oh, I
Yes.
doubt it'd work.
He kind of smiles and says, "If that fails and you want to send a message, we could always smoke them out. They've all got their own claims. They've each been granted land here. They've each been granted their own smaller manors around the city.
I think the best course of action is to work our way up the chain instead of starting at the top.
He shrugs and says, "It's up to you guys. I'm only in it for whatever I get out of their houses."
Well, in that case, we may as well start from the bottom so you have more houses to raid.
He kind of smiles and says, "Wherever we start's fine with me. If we take out the head, then it's gonna fall into chaos it's gonna fall into a chaos over a power grab. So I'll have my hands busy, whichever path we take."
Your father's leaving soon, isn't he?
Hmm.
If we get him, you take care of your family business, and then have him claim you as a successor. That might be something.
At the same time, I doubt that would work. The full bloods don't care too much for us half-breeds. Even if I am acknowledged, it would just be from him.
All you, even on his word.
It's a good idea, but I just don't see it working.
Then to just go on a killing spree, but I mean,
you could have them, if they don't follow you, challenge you in test of strength.
You got a good point, Callan. We'll give it a shot.
with
If
your
it doesn't-
father eventually.
If it doesn't work, we can just fall back on the old reliable.
Do what you're good at. I've seen
Well-
you get stabbed more than 30 times in the time we've been traveling together.
So, it was nothing.
That's my point.
Tenos kind of smirks and says, "So, you want me to go after the big manor?"
If you think you can do it and not get caught, I don't want you to do anything that puts you in too great a risk, Tenos.
He shrugs and says, "I've been in sticky situations before. I know how to handle myself."
Actually, how much time would you say is left on that cloak of Callan's?
Well, I mean it.
Is it a once a day thing?
Let me check it. I thought it was just. Thought you could just kind of use it.
Oh, and it has, well, I thought it had like a 10-minute duration.
Where's it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a duration limit on it.
I was gonna say then we could lend it to him just in case if he gets.
Pulling the hood up or down requires an action. Deduct the time you are invisible in increments of 1 minute from the cloak's maximum duration of 2 hours. After 2 hours of use,
Oh!
the cloak ceases to function for every uninterrupted period of 12 hours. The cloak
Fuck
goes
me, we could have
unused.
brought that guy.
For every uninterrupted period of 12 hours, the cloak goes unused. It regains 1 hour of duration.
I thought
You lied to me.
Oops.
I thought it was 10 fucking minutes. I'm sorry.
I just went by John, even though it's my cloak.
Well, guys, you need
That's
to know what your
fucking-
items do.
Yeah, my chainmail gives me plus 20 armor class. Okay.
I didn't.
No.
Oh my god, I feel so bad. Well, I didn't know. In character, I didn't know. I just did what you said.
Yep, you
so.
didn't know. It's not your
Okay.
fault.
Here, all right,
It's
I
not
probably
your fault.
saw-
Your party's incompetent.
I've got.
You're right, my
You can
intelligence
totally
isn't canon.
So I'll take it and I'll hand it to him. I'll say, "Listen, you put this on, and you lift it over your head. You'll be turned invisible for about 10 minutes. So use that carefully."
He smiles at this and says, "Oh, hey, I think I can get used to something like this." He throws.
Don't get used to it. We expect it back.
He smiles and says, "You'll have it back."
Be
Alright.
careful out there, Tenos.
While he's going out, can I start resting to try to get my spell slots back?
Yeah, you can. Are you gonna rest here, or are you gonna go back to the inn?
Probably here. I assume this is where he's coming back to.
Okay.
Yeah, I would also like to rest to recover some of the HP I lost.
Are you guys just taking a short rest or a long rest?
Well,
I assume it'll take him a little bit. So probably a long rest.
Okay.
Big Daddy is leaving the next day, right?
He said it could be next day, sometime soon.
Oh, but here's the thing. How are we going to get... Well, we know how to get in and out, don't we?
That's what that dude just left to go find out, right?
I think he means in and out
Ah.
of the city.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna meet him outside the city, we have to get outside the city, but the guards aren't too prone to letting people out if the name's not on the list.
If he finds a way in the mansion, we can go in the mansion and get him there.
That'd be-
Hal and take over his tunnel.
Oh.
I mean, worst comes to worst. I'm not saying we do that.
Well, you should know by now we don't plan ahead, so we'll just see what happens.
I yawn in character and I say, all right.
So, is this gonna... Well, would you call this a short rest or a long rest, AJ?
It's up to you guys.
What time is it right now?
Right now, it's probably just about noon. I mean, you guys got up in the morning, did all that stuff. It's still pretty, like the sun's still high in the sky.
I'll go ahead and I'll just use a short rest and just stick around with the dwarves and whatnot.
All right.
And I'm gonna roll my my dices.
All right.
Yeah.
I take a nap in a corner because I haven't slept
Okay.
in like 2 days.
All right. So
I'm gonna roll 3 of them, and I'm gonna do plus 12 for all my Constitution modifiers.
So, Callan, are you taking a short or a long rest? Long rest is like 8 hours.
You get your spell slots back from a long rest only, right?
Depends on the class. For Ranger, I think so.
Then I'll take a long rest.
Okay. So you'll probably be resting for a bit longer than they are then, because it's gonna take him quite a little while to go and scout the place out. So, Lorstis, once you patch yourself up, anything you're gonna do?
No, you know,
Any stores you want to go look for? Anything in particular? Maybe do a bit of scouting of your own.
I don't feel too safe going out on my own. I'll play it safe
But I
here.
do. Go
You
get-
do, but I'm not suicidal. Well, not in game.
It's dark.
No, I'm just gonna dick around in the hideout with my new dwarf friends. Maybe do some arm wrestling.
Okay. So, you guys
I would
do-
just be wandering around, so I don't have anything to do.
All right. So as you guys gonna mess around in here for a while.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay.
In game and real life.
I have a bucket in the back.
Metagaming right there, you know? So, AJ,
Look-
I've been... Oh, go ahead.
Are you talking in character?
No, I was talking out of character. This was gonna be like, you know, I just wanted to say something while Alex is gone.
Oh, okay. Well, Dodgy looks up and says, "What exactly is your relationship with your dad? Is it just straight kill each other?"
Well, I know what I want to do to him. I don't know what he wants to do to me.
I seriously think you should consider getting him to claim you as a his lieutenants. Getting his resources and his backing under you would go a far, far way to.
It makes sense, but I don't want anything to do with the man that butchered my friends and my mother.
Sounds like you're thinking emotionally. You need to start thinking like a politician, my friend.
I'm not a politician.
Well, I can't argue with you. You do what you want.
I'll be honest with you, taking the city back is my secondary goal. The main thing I want to do is put that monster down.
In that case, I'm not so sure you taking over the town would be the best situation for the people here anyway.
It's not. That's why I was throwing around other ideas. I care about this town, but not enough to run it.
Daji's rubbing the back of his neck and he's like, and then when we kill everybody and raise the town of its. What then?
I don't know what happens from there.
Problem, isn't it?
Could be.
If we just let it fall into anarchy, then what? Like it, you're gonna have to assume some kind of power if you want to maintain control of this town and get that money, like you said.
Well, my idea was that we take a man from our keep and set him in here.
Daji just shrugs. Doesn't say anything else.
All right.
I mean, if you want me to just give up the adventuring lifestyle and settle down here, that's up to you.
That's not what I'm saying.
Sorry about that. I need to feed my dogs too.
It's all good.
Kill everyone and have them push before you. Kind of sounds like what your father did, doesn't it?
I don't need you being all philosophical with me. Like I said, we don't plan things out ahead. When the time comes, we'll think of something to do.
Daji just sits with his gourd in his lap and leaned up against the wall.
All right. So, as time passes, eventually, actually, let me make a couple rolls. Okay. As time passes, eventually, Tenos returns. He smiles and says, "You know, this cloak really is something else."
Did you run into some trouble out there?
Not so much. Like I said, I know my way in and out of places. He says, "Well, they do have that place locked up pretty tight. But I've got a couple of theories for how we might be able to get in."
Well, grab a plate, come sit down, and let's throw around some theories.
He says, "Well," so he grabs some food and says, "Well, to start things, could always go through the sewer. It's not the most hygienic way to get in there, but it's a way nonetheless." He says, and he looks around and says, "Then there's another option. I've been watching them for quite a while, and they've been bringing in all sorts of merchants to come in and show the men inside some wares. From what I've seen, they're all merchants with, fancy ornaments, jewels, a couple different weaponsmiths and armorsmiths, but if we could get ourselves an entourage, maybe procure some fine jewels of our own, well, maybe we could get them to bring us right in."
I'd say we have better than jewels.
Well, we might be able to get something going. I'll have to we'll have to do a bit more digging around, though, to find out who we actually need to talk to get that going.
I know 2 merchants we can bring in as an entourage as well.
Great. He says, and he leans back, takes a drink, and says, though there is a lot of traffic of guards in and out of that area, he says, alongside the 2 giants outside. You could be up to your teeth in trouble if you guys decide to, break out there.
Is the leader there now?
He shrugs and says, well, I haven't seen him leave, unless he's left already, I think so.
And the sooner the better, don't you think?
Says, well, I suppose so.
We can either take the time to get an entourage together and try to talk our way inside, or we can just go straight in through the sewers.
I like the entourage idea.
I do too.
I like the sewer, but it's 2 to 1, so we'll do the entourage.
Alright.
I just laugh and I push myself off the ground. In that case, I won't waste any time. It
Alright.
should be almost sundown now. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, at this point,
see if
the
I can
sun's
get them in
starting to
there.
set. Okay. So you're gonna make your way back to the inn and try and find those 2 merchants? Alright. Is anyone else going with Daoji?
It'd look awful fishy if his bodyguards weren't with him.
Yeah, we probably need to go with them.
Alright. So, as you guys make your way back to that inn, it's pretty, in the evenings this inn's pretty bustling. You can see there's a small band who's made themselves up in the corner playing music. And you see almost immediately sitting at a table closest to the band are the 2 merchants that, Dion and Valheim that you guys came in with.
Great. I am going to by the bar and pick up 3 nice fine ales for us.
Okay. So you do that and make your way back towards the table, sitting down with them.
I set the 2
drinks.
drinks in front of them.
Ah, it's Zing! So, how's the city been treating you so far?
Back and I say, I have to tell you, it's treating us better than I thought it could possibly hope.
Oh, it's good to hear. And he takes the drink you gave him and, takes a big gulp out of it. We've been doing pretty well ourselves.
I'm sure you have. But let me tell you something that's really going to make your day.
What's that?
I think I can get us in to the main manor where the Lord resides to present our wares to the Lord himself.
He leans on the table and smiles at this and says, oh, this guy's not half bad after all. So, how do you reckon we can do that?
Going around and scouting out the best merchants with the finest wares to introduce to the... He seems to be searching for fine goods, ornaments.
Nun says, well,
And-
we've got jewels and the like with us. We might be able to get in on that.
What I'm offering. So I think we can do it.
Well, if you can get us in there, we wouldn't pass that offer up at all.
Good to have your support then.
When do you reckon we'll be doing this?
Well, I'm going to go immediately to find out who we need to introduce ourselves to, show them what we've got, I'll put in the word for you to join me, and maybe tomorrow.
Well, we've taken over a kiosk a couple miles up to the east. Pretty close to the gate, actually. So, if we're not in the tavern or in the inn by whenever you do that, come find us. Hell, if they need to see your wares, we can set up a... You can come set up at our kiosk with us.
That sounds like a great idea.
Takes
Cheers.
And they all raise their mugs to their lips, take a drink.
I'll excuse myself for a minute and go talk with Lorsus and Callan.
Okay.
And even if they didn't overhear, I'll just tell them about how they're on board with that.
Sounds good.
To do is go find the scout.
Alright, so... What's your next move, fellas?
Well, we probably need to find the right person to talk to.
It might be too late to find him now.
Alright, so... What are you guys gonna do? Try and wait till tomorrow, see if you can't find someone?
Yeah.
Right at the crack of dawn, I want to get up and go searching.
Alright, so... Unless you guys have anything else to do, you can take a rest and do that.
Nah, I'm feeling like it's bedtime.
Okay.
We'll go find the whorehouse.
Alright.
God damn it.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's not too hard to find. You meet up with some other merchants who show you the way. And they, it's nestled kind of on the north, on the north side of town. Within eyesight of that large manor, actually. And, yeah, it costs you 3 gold for the evening, but you find
Oh
yourself a
man,
whorehouse.
the Lord's Manor is in eyesight of the whorehouse.
This isn't
That's kinda
this
shitty.
isn't what we this isn't what we call a whorehouse. This is more of they'd use the terminology of courtesan here. This
Right.
is this is the place where where they'd go in the evening. This isn't like the squalor part of town.
Gotcha. Gold. I roll sexual constitution. That's not good.
They've seen better. They've seen worse.
And that's all I can ask for.
They've seen better. They've seen worse. You get your money's worth, anyways.
They're whores, they don't care.
No, man, it's a matter of pride. You wouldn't understand.
Okay. So yeah, you guys do that for the evening, and nothing of note happens during the night as you guys, rise up for the morning. Daoji, at the crack of dawn as he wanted to.
I'll rise at the crack and go. To.
Alright, so where are you heading? Sorry?
Should head to the market square and look for a scout.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Do that or just me?
Whoever's looking for a guy who looks like he may be scouting out.
Investigation.
21.
Garbage.
Okay. So, you guys split up, looking for this guy. Daoji, you kind of stick around in that market that you had went to originally. And you don't, after looking around for a while, you don't see anyone that would be scouting. But Callan, you go a few blocks down, and you see a stand that has all kinds of different gems in it. It's got, the display cases with rubies and sapphires and all diamonds and, some weird, multicolored gems that you haven't really seen before. And after a moment, this red tiefling comes up and starts conversing with the man.
It's terror. AJ, are we ever gonna see terror again?
Maybe. I'm not
I
sure yet.
I mean, for fuck's sake, we gotta see him. He's a
Final boss of the campaign.
Hey
our,
guys.
our Callus was actually terror, just polymorphed.
Alright, so, yeah,
Hey guys, I'm gonna destroy the world.
you see this tiefling who's kind of conversing with the man, and after a moment, they shake hands. Are you going to do anything?
Does the Tiefling look like the guy we need?
Could be. I mean, he's walked right up to the, you're watching, and he looking around at the markets and caught this one that had a whole bunch of jewels and stuff, and he just walked straight towards and started conversing with the man. He didn't buy anything, but he shook hands with him and is now looking like he's going to make his way to leave.
I approach and say, I serve a very wealthy merchant named Jing, and I noticed you looking at these jewels.
The
We might
man-
have something that you could be interested in.
The man turns and crosses his arms and says, "Is that so? And what, might I ask, might you have that would interest me?"
Well, we have dragon scales.
Well, that's nice and all, and I'm sure you'll fetch a good price for 'em, but not necessarily in the market for what I'm
Well, what
producing.
exactly are you in the market for?
Fine gems of a certain manner.
I'm sure we could procure some gems. Is there a place where I could meet you to set up a deal?
Well, if you've got gems, then I'll follow you to your master and you can show me what you've got.
Okay.
Very well, let's go. And he adjusts his bag and starts to follow you. I'm assuming you're leading him towards Daoji?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm not sure where we're going with this.
I got this.
Okay.
Alright.
So, you eventually find Daoji and Lorstis looking around in that market. So you lead them towards your two party members.
When I see him coming, I'll walk over and I approach and I say, "Ah,
Yes,
be-
you must be this
Jing.
man's... Jing, of course. You must be the proprietor this man was speaking of. You have gems for me to look over?
sure." On top of my own wares, myself and a few other merchants have over by the Eastern Gate. If you would like to come with us, I'm sure we'll have something that will definitely pique your interest.
I step forward and I pipe up and I mention that I have a couple of stones of a couple of jewel type stones in my possession. I reach into my bag of holding and I pull out one of the zodiac stones.
Okay. So you pull this out and show it to the man. And he looks over it for a moment before nodding and saying, "Very well. So, you mentioned a stand of yours. We'll go ahead and take a look at that as well. I think you guys may be... Well, it's not for me to decide, really. But I may be able to pull some strings and get you on the lists."
Overly happy, eager Asian salesman thing. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll lead him over to the Eastern Gate, and hopefully I can find that damn kiosk.
Yeah, you... Easily enough, the two men see you and flag you down. They say, "Ah, Jing, Jing! Oh, is this the man?"
I've piqued his interest in our wares, and I would like to show them to him.
And he leans down and for a moment looks over their wares before nodding, saying, "Yes, very well. And these two are with you, I'm assuming?
That's right.
Very well. So, Jing," and nods towards them, and they say, "Ah, Dion, and this here is my partner, Valheim." Very well. He pulls out a little ledger and marks your names down and says, "Well, I think we can have something arranged. We've been on the lookout for fine jewelry to, well, do a bit of redecorating around the manor, of some sort, anyways. We'll be in touch. Where might you be staying?" This Dion kind of tells him, "Oh, the inn over by the southern side. You know the one." So, very well. And he makes a note of that. "Expect a messenger very soon." But
The two merchants, and I give them a fuck yeah, we did it, guys. Look, that face.
yeah, they give you the same one back. They're ecstatic.
On the other hand, I look incredibly distraught and worried
Yep.
because everything just keeps coming back to these fucking stones.
But at
Well,
this
no.
point, the tiefling turns to you, Daoji. He shakes your hand and says, "Jing, the messenger will be coming to see you very shortly. And
Forward to it.
if you see me around, my name is Barakas. And very soon, if you have any more further inquiries, you may find me."
Be sure to do that. I look forward to the message.
Very well.
I tug on Callan's
Yeah.
shirt and I bring him into a whisper. It's him.
I know.
And before long, he shakes your hand and takes off towards some more kiosks, looking around.
I turn towards Callan and Lorstis, and I notice them doing that, and I'm like, what's that about?
We'll tell you in private.
I'll turn to go and say farewell to the two merchants.
Yeah, they shake your hand, enthusiastic. They're like, "Jing, you've done us a huge solid here, man. If things go well, rounds will be on us for quite a while. We'll owe you."
Just consider it a favor between merchants.
And they kind of nod at you and say, "Well, it's a huge one, man."
And with that, I guess we'll go back and find some privacy then, because I want to hear this.
All right. So, you guys head into an abandoned alleyway.
Pull them aside and I say, what's up?
Barakas is a man we have to kill.
The tiefling?
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be better if Callan explained it.
Well, we were in a town before we met you, and he murdered an innocent girl and made her into a noon wraith
Noonwraith.
that terrorized the town. And the only way we could appease the spirit was to promise vengeance.
Ah. Well, that's interesting.
He's a very bad person.
Off on that until we get done with this.
He used a shovel for very non-shovel means.
I well, all the same, I really think we should do this first.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
of course. I'm just saying, afterwards we
No.
have...
Really your business, and I'll stay out of it. It's on the deal at hand right now.
Whatever you want.
I guess that's really all there is to it.
I guess we'll wait till we get our message.
Okay. You guys gonna do any shopping around? Look for anything? You guys need things?
I'm gonna look for I'm gonna look for a kiosk that might be selling potions.
I still have 4 superior and 6 greater.
I'm not looking for healing potions.
Okay.
I'm looking for my go-to. I want to fuck some shit up potions.
All right. Roll an investigation check.
D20. -1. It was supposed to be +4, so 5.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. All right. So let's see. Let's see.
5. Can I interest you in some fine sex toys, my friend?
All right. So it takes you a little bit of looking around, but you find one man sitting at a stall. He's kind of sitting back in a chair with his ledger open and a few stacks of coin, kind of counting them out, like counting out coin, putting them in a stack, then marking something down a ledger. So you walk up, he looks up. He's a a white, well, not white, no, this guy would be he'd be a
Cis
green,
white male.
no, this guy'd be a green dragonborn. As he looks up,
Sorry, that made me laugh.
yeah.
That fucking giggle.
He looks up as you approach before moving these stacks of coin to the side and standing up and saying, "Oh, hello. Do any of my wares interest you, good man? What can I get you?"
Well, it depends on what you've got in stock.
Oh.
Patriarchy.
He says, "Well, business has been rather good today. I've been, well, running a bit low. I'll have to go and restock fairly soon, but I may have some things that interest you. But please take a look." And on the counter, you see a couple of potions. You see... Oh, let's see what he would have. You see a strange potion that's with like an orange liquid that like is flickering, and there's like smoke kind of billowing off of this. You see another one that has this like cloudy green fluid.
Are any of them labeled?
Not so much, no. And you see another one that looks pretty familiar to you, actually. It's a vial of like poison. And you can see it's just like this staunch green liquid.
The other two, I pick them up and ask them what they are.
Oh, and he gestures to the one with the red flickering liquid. He says, "That one I devised. It's a potion of fire breath." And he says, "You drink it and you can exhale fire for up to 30 feet in front of you." He says, "You can only do this about 3 times, but, well, I made it up after watching my cousin." He says, "The other one," he gestures to the cloudy green liquid and says, "That is a potion of water breathing. You drink that and you can hold your breath for up to an hour underwater."
How much for all 3 of these?
Says, let me check the ledgers. He flickers through. Oh, where are they at? He's looks back up and he says, well, for all three of them, I would charge you, let's make it 3,000 golden pieces.
Yeah.
How does 25 sound?
Roll a persuasion check.
Money.
I'm haggling. I'm haggling. I'm haggling.
Gold pieces.
I'm haggling!
He looks up to you and says, these are the last three in my stock at the moment. Let's make it 28.50.
I'll meet you in the middle at 27.
2,800's as low as I can go.
27.75.
Come on.
He shakes his head and says, I'm sorry, there are others who would pay gladly for it.
2,800 it is.
Very well. He hands you the potions and takes your gold and says, well then, I suppose I can head back out and get back to brewing. So he starts to pack up his shop.
With that, I leave, saving 200 golden pieces.
Alright, so you get those. Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah,
Do I see any lieutenants or any wealthy-looking, higher-up military people?
Roll a perception check as you're just kind of hanging around the square.
Like a little bit, like I'm just standing by Loris's, listening to him haggle.
Yeah, as you're standing by, just looking around, go ahead and roll a perception check.
20.
Yeah, actually, walking, making patrols with a squad of about 5 other guards. You can see as he's walking, he's talking to him. A man with, well, not a man, a very tall, large orc with full plate on. You can see it's got like sewn into the sides of some of the leather on the armor, and you can see ears. And you can see that he's probably one of the higher ups. And they all walk up to a kiosk looking at some of the wares before the man just reaches down and plucks something up for nodding with a cold grin at the shop owner, just walks off with it. You can see this is the shop owner who had the strange bauble shop. Despite initial appearances, this guy, he's dressed, now that you look at him better, dressed pretty well. He seems to be doing pretty well for himself.
You got a coin purse on him?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not like he's got a coin purse on him, but he's also got like a small little strong box sitting on the table behind his goods. He's like flip.
No, I'm talking about the guard.
Oh, the guard.
Oh, come on. Oh, don't. Oh, God.
The lieutenant himself does not, but you can see some of the guards that are following him. They do.
All right. Tuck my hood up. I should have it on pretty much all the time. And I put my arms in my arms in my sleeves, and I start approach the lieutenant.
Okay.
And I go up and I say, "Sir, can I offer you in some fine furs or linens?"
He looks down at you. For
5 gold apiece, my friend. You cannot pass these up. Fine silks inlaid with the finest threads.
his lip kind of curls as he knocks on his arm and says, "If I wanted any fine furs or linens, I'd go across the street. I don't take you for much more than a beggar."
But those across the street couldn't inlay, and I go up and I lift a hand up and I rub it against his shoulder and I say, they could not inlay it with fur that would make you look like a strong, fierce, wild warrior.
At this point, he smacks your hand. "Don't ever touch me again."
Pull back and bump backwards into one of the soldiers.
All right, roll a sleight of hand.
God damn it! Please, Jesus. I love you, Jesus.
You mean the benevolent DM?
Okay.
Alright, just us two. Dodgy's in jail now.
Now she's on the stocks.
On a point of luck. Oh, never mind. Gotta go
spend a
21.
luck to... Hang on, before you do this, do you want to spend a point of luck to re-roll or make him re-roll?
Make him reroll.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so...
Good! Good!
As you back up and bump in, you very deftly snatch the purse before quickly tucking it into your own pockets. Unnoticed.
No, it's
luckily.
like I put my arms in my sleeves like a Chinese person.
Right. Before, just ducking it back into your sleeves. And the lieutenant belts out, "If you ever touch me again, it'll be a week in the stock with you."
Bow profusely. I'll say, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm very sorry."
Me so sorry, me so sorry.
I even put on that peasant ass Asian accent.
Mm-hmm.
That's my go-to accent when I'm in this situation.
Yeah, and
Me so sorry.
he shakes his head, and you can hear him muttering to the other guards, "When they come up on you like that, it's good practice just to beat them over the head with your stick."
I'm just over there bowing and apologizing.
Yep. All right, so
Me so sorry.
you come off with that with about 150 golden pieces.
Oh my god, that is 15 times my goddamn money.
The guards,
Man.
the guards here, man, they make it.
If you needed money, I have the money.
He asked you earlier.
Yeah, you did give him 5.
He was being rude then.
He really was.
Told you I can get it myself. I head over to the bauble stand and I look over at the merchant and I say, "How much was the thing he took?"
Oh, he says, that was... Let me look at it. He says, "Oh, think nothing of that one, boy. That one wasn't worth a whole lot. Just about 2 pieces.
I reach into the soldier's purse and I pull out about 16 pieces and I lay it on the...
You're a kind man." He takes it and puts it in his own purse. He says, "Well, I've got plenty of things here if you want to look around. They might interest you, they might not. Got something for a little bit of something for all walks of life here."
Ran under my hood and I say, "Well, I just came in with a bit of spending money, so let's see what you got."
Okay, so as you look over, you see he's got a couple of different books, and they've all got some pretty fancy inscriptions on them. One of them has it's interesting, it's like a very thick tome. You can see it's got I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the man with his arms spread out. It's like 4 arms and 4 legs. I don't remember what that's called. But also on each corner of the book inlaid with a small ruby. And it seems like it's got another one with a man who seems to be encrusted. It's like a man encrusted. It's like he's sprinting with 4 sapphires encrusted in the 4 corners of the book. You see some other things there too. You see some different necklaces, each with their own strange type of gem that you've never really seen before attached to them. Some of them are chiseled out. Some of the gems are like chiseled out into special designs in these. He's got some interesting looking instruments too, like different flutes and
What was the thing with the gems you said?
one of the necklaces or the books.
Oh,
Like one of the necklaces has like some gems that have been like carved out into some interesting odd shapes.
the necklace that you said I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Take those, the book with the gems in them. I take those two and I set them down in front of me and I say, "How much you want for these two?"
Let me look at him. He picks up the necklace and says, "Let me." Where? I don't like where this is placed. There it is. Says, well, for you, the necklace I can part with for. He looks at it. I can part with this necklace for about 600 gold, and the book. Which book did you take? The sapphire or the ruby one?
Let's go with the ruby one.
Okay. Says this is a very peculiar book. Says, I'll sell it for 5,000, but let me explain what it is.
I just hold my hand up and I say, "My good man," and I just walk away.
Says, I'll hold on to him for you.
Keep your head up.
I take interest in what Daoshi's doing, and I walk over to the stand myself.
All right. He says, well, what can I do for you?
Around and follow him because I want to see what he does.
All right.
Well, I saw my friend looking at something you were showing him, and I'm curious myself.
Says, well, he was looking at this book here, and he says, I can only the lowest I can go on it's 5,000, but it's a peculiar book. Says, he says, a man sold this book to me after doing a bit of spelunking. He says, this book, it contains very ancient, let's call them tips, very ancient tips on how to upkeep your bodily health. But it's a bit more than that. It's been imbued with magic. Magic that only comes, that once expended only comes back after a century.
What kind of magic?
He says, he explains to you in terms that you can understand that your constitution score will increase by 2 if you spend 48 hours over a course of 6 days studying out of this book.
Now hold on.
I hand him 5,000 gold right now.
How much gold did John bring to this mission?
14,000.
Well, he took 5,000.
I've got 11,000 right now. I don't store my gold at the keep.
You see, you may have a party member who could use that book.
Yeah,
What's
party
your
member could use.
constitution score at?
It's at 19.
You can only go
Oh,
up
that's
to
cool.
20.
Mine's 14.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you may have
But-
a party member who's, got only like 30 health.
He's not here right now, though, is he?
He never shows up. I feel like he's not much of a party member.
And that's how much he doesn't show up.
Man, you're making it really hard not to be greedy, because I'm sitting here with the opportunity to bring my constitution up to 20.
5,000.
Yeah, but to be
fucking
fair, yours
gold.
only goes up by 1.
Yeah, but I'm willing to pay 5,000 gold for that.
Tank with you.
What'd you say, Mark?
I'll tank with you.
Mm,
Did
No.
you say there was another book as well?
He did.
Oh yeah, there was another book. What does the other book do? So what does this one do?
But here's the thing, if I bump my constitution up to 20, I'll get, like, 11 more health, and I'll get 1 more to my armor class. Come on now.
What he has to say about the other book first before we do that?
It's
I just want to
essentially,
hear him out. I just want to hear him out.
it's essentially the same, but for dexterity, and he's selling that one for. He's selling that one for 10,000.
Boss. Boss. I look over at Lorsis and I just tilt my head. I'm like, boss.
I really want this one.
Boss.
What's your dexterity, Mark?
18.
That's a good number to have.
Boss, I will pay you back.
I call Callan over. Callan, how much gold you got?
Enough if we split to get both.
Peace.
All right. I'll pay 75. You pay 75. Together, it's 1,500 for both.
I don't have 75.
No, it's 5,000 a piece, so it'd be 10,000.
No, the blue one was 10,000.
Oh shit.
How much you got, Callan?
6,100.
If you give me 4, I can buy both.
All right.
It's a good thing you guys recently looted a dragon's hoard.
It's going bye-bye, though. It's going bye-bye. It's going bye-bye.
Shops with magical items are expensive.
I know.
Note to self: check more shops alone, so no one steals this.
Okay, so, with a very shaky and giddy hand, I hand over 1,500 golden pieces.
15,000.
Jesus, dude.
Oh,
Come on.
15,000! Again, the math is not so good for me right now. I'm excited.
Us.
I hand him 15,000 golden pieces.
Okay. And you guys have 2 new books.
Snatch that shit.
I mean, I could also use the dexterity book, you know? That would increase my armor score, too.
Oh my god. No, I snatched that
It
shit.
would
I'm
take either of us to 20, but yeah, man, you take it.
This is bringing out the worst in me. Magic items are like crack.
oh shit, Callan, you paid for this. You
You can have it.
sure, man? It's your
Yeah.
money. I didn't earn it.
Yeah, you
I
can have
mean,
it.
it would only be 1 more armor class thingamajiggy.
You
So
go to
it's-
the front line most of the time, anyways.
I mean,
Yeah, I got you.
really, I know you both could really use the dexterity book.
You didn't even know about the dexterity book. We're claiming the other one.
No, the Constitution book's mine, nigga. I guess really it's up to you two to. I guess maybe the only fair way would be to roll for it, like a straight D20. Highest gets
I
it.
could have it. I take the book.
We literally
and
just
I
said he could have it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
finish this conversation and I leave.
If Jim ever comes back, let it be known that the GM tried to raise his Constitution score. Let it be written here on March 11th, 2018, that the GM tried.
Then Jim should have been here.
Jim should show up.
Listen, man, if I spend the next 5 sessions going around town pickpocketing all these guards, I'll be able to pay you back.
Don't worry, we'll have the money after we kill the chief.
So true. I'm gonna head back to the inn and find myself a quiet corner to apply that shit.
Yep.
Apply directly to the forehead.
Yes, I am also going right back to my room, and I'm gonna start reading my fucking picture book.
It's gonna
Inside you
take,
hear.
it's gonna take a while for the effects of this to take place.
I thought he
I
said
know.
48 hours.
48 hours over the course of 6 days.
But the sooner we start, the better. All my downtime is gonna be spent reading the fucking picture book.
Mine's just gonna be looking at Lord, just surprised he can read.
I'm gonna start reading my Constitution book.
It improves his constitution. It's mostly a picture book.
Yep, so you guys have, if you want to get it done in 6 days, you've got to spend practically 8 hours a day reading that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't need to eat or sleep or drink or
Listen,
move.
okay, we do the thing tomorrow, and then we all sit the fuck down and take care of it.
I'm going back to the keep.
All right. If we can't do it during this fucking session, then I guess we better wait.
And then we can find some way to accelerate time in a certain space and put the books in there, and then take them out after a century's worth in the time chamber, and then we read it again.
You're not elves. You don't live that long.
I said time
One
chamber.
of us does.
No,
We
you
put it
don't.
in-
You're a half elf, Alex.
We-
Don't I live that long?
Half
put
elves
it
only
inside
live as
it.
long as humans.
Here, we put it inside a chamber.
I have a
of
potion of
accelerated time.
longevity.
Okay, that goes like 1,000 times faster than real time. All right, and then we pull the books out and we just keep reading until we max out our stats.
No.
Yes.
You only have 2 stats you can max out.
Half elves lives much longer than humans, often exceeding 180 years.
Wait,
Here's
we can only max out 2 stats.
Mate, those are only dexterity book and constitution book. How are you going to max out your other stats with that?
Through pure strength of will.
No.
Yeah.
I got 160 years left. I can read those books.
You're a half elf and you're only 20.
Yeah.
He's a little
What?
baby.
He's
I'm a little baby.
He's a baby.
He's a baby.
He's
You're
a
literally
baby.
You're literally a babby. Well, thanks, guys.
I'll see you in 100 years.
Much love, guys.
Uh,
Actually, I think I'm a monk. I think I'll be able to survive that long too.
but yeah, while waiting for our message, I'm just reading the book.
All right. And I think that's probably where we'll stop for the night. We'll pick up again next week, and things will probably get interesting.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have 20 Constitution.
No.
No. I don't think we're gonna be able to get that.
We're gonna cram session. Stay up all night reading.
Is Jim gonna be here next week?
I don't know.
Let's not tell him about the Constitution book.
He won't know. He can't even get into this part of the city.
We'll say then I got in the town. I got a Constitution buff or something. Just don't
Hey.
tell him.
So
Don't
here's the thing. Aren't you glad I pickpocketed those guards? Jesus, that I didn't, and now that I did, now we have these 2 books.
No, I was praying to Jesus and things would go well, and things went very, very well.
Algae's really lucky, dude. Algae picks his opportunities.
AJ, just for curiosity, if he didn't use luck, what would have happened?
They're caught and beaten.
I'm not gonna tell you what happens if you don't. If things, I'm not gonna tell you. Not good things.
Did I fail the first time?
He rolled like 2 more than you.
Yeah. So that's
Well,
why you
it's
have
two
luck,
Guards
kid.
chasing another person down an alley. The
My
second day in a row.
character is the bomb diggity.
You guys remember what happened outside of the castle in Draconia?
Yeah.
It might have been something like that.
Oh, okay.
Just take my action of sprint 120 feet away from them. Up
This
a
is-
wall.
This is how we're gonna clean out the city. We just lure packs of guards into alleys. Cast
We didn't-
silence.
You know, we
Cast
didn't
silence
meet
the
those
butcher.
guys that we left
God
in the alleyway
damn it.
either. We didn't take their money either. I gotta go find those guys.
Oh,
After we do this, I'm gonna go find those fucking cars that we killed and loot their corpses.
I'm just so amazed. I got so greedy when I heard Magic Book Constitution.
I'm
One
not amazed,
Constitution.
Dexterity.
No. Yeah, 20. That's gonna increase my AC by 1.
Would have increased my AC too.
Edge. Like, dude, that's good shit.
Like, I would have been swole as fuck, nigga.
Yeah, that guy's got some neat things. There's not a lot of magic shops around in my setting, but when they're there, they have good things.
Alright, from now on, we gotta keep a good supply of gold when we go out on adventures in case we find a magic shop.